PicMonkey is an online software for editing photos. It doesn't allow such a degree of complexity as Photoshop, but there are some basic filters that I found particularly useful. I use this alongside Photoshop to therefore get the best out of my products. There is a lot of flexibility with it, and you can in fact use the filters to create a more different colours, so you could create one part black and white and also have colours in another section. You could also do things that a lot of professional industries do, such as teeth whitening and reshaping the body to make them look thinner, and this is something that a lot of professional industries do. In creating the soundtrack for my trailer, I went through a lot of different softwares trying to find what would be right. Soundation was a software that I found was very good for layering, but there wasn't that much choice. Audio Sauna again was not very effective and very difficult to use. I eventually chose to use GarageBand because it's very effective for creating layers, and there was an infinite number of tracks I could use because I could import my own. I used this through planning in order to create what I wanted and find out what would kind of work, and I also used this in the production stages because I created the soundtrack for my trailer on it. Bubble.us is a software I used for creating mind maps. It was particularly useful in the planning stages where I was able to create a mind map of the film title ideas, and then I was able to present this to friends and get feedback on it, and they clearly understood it because it was a very easy software to understand. Microsoft Excel was a software that's very useful to use in terms of mathematics. It meant that I didn't need to work it out for myself, and I could put in a formula and that would add up survey results, and from these survey results I could then create graphs, and I had a range. I could have pie charts as well as line graphs and bar charts. It would also show me percentages, which is very good for analysing statistics in research and planning stages. I use Microsoft PowerPoint in the same way that I used Prezi. It was a good way to lay out analysis that I had done in research and planning stages as well as throughout the process. It was particularly useful when trying to analyse genre because it's very easy to write very long paragraphs that then paired up with a photo. SlideShare is a software that works alongside Microsoft PowerPoint, and I could basically upload my PowerPoints onto this software, give it a title, and then share it into my blog, which was where all my information was stored and could show everything that it was relevant to. I use Microsoft Word to create the surveys and the model release forms and other various text products because it was the most effective and I could easily print it out afterwards once I'd created it. Once the survey had been analysed or written on, I used a scanner to scan it all in. I also used a scanner to scan in notes and storyboards and flat plans because it created a high quality image that I could then import into my blog. Photo Booth is a software on an Apple Mac that I used throughout the process of making my products. It was useful in gathering feedback and also used for filming my evaluations. I used it for creating the voiceovers that I would then import into Final Cut Express, and I could create filters on it to make it black and white, and there was a lot of stuff you could do with it, and it's very useful for getting live feedback that I didn't then have to take notes on. The camera that I used was a Lumix FZ45. It had a lot of settings and a filter cap to keep off the dust. Once I turned it on, it was very easy to zoom in and you could get very detailed up close footage whilst being very far away and it still being a high quality. There was also a lot of different settings on the camera. As well as video, I could also take photos, so I used this for both my print product and my video product. I also used a tripod. The tripod was extendable, so I could have any height I wanted and then it would just expand. Once setting it down, you could adjust the angle of the camera. This could be up or down or side to side. There was also a way that I could tilt the tripod so that the camera was on an angle if I wanted a tinted angle. This was really useful because it involved not having to, move yourself and also risk having shaky footage. If it still wasn't tall enough, you could also extend the camera so that you could get even higher and perhaps get higher than, face-to-face view. This could provide high-angle shots that normally wouldn't be able to get. I could also take off the top of the tripod to attach the camera, which, made everything a lot easier because it's very easy to connect the camera to the tripod.